Intro. Welcome to this cybersecurity update. Today we'll cover 5 recent CVEs that reinforce why timely patching and secure configurations matter. Each entry summarizes the risk, affected versions, and recommended mitigations. Let's dive into these critical issues. CVE 2026-26331 YT DLP Arbitrary Command Injection. CVE 2026-26331 Impacts YT DLP, a widely used CLI media downloader. In versions prior to February 21, 2026, using the network CMD option or the network API parameter could permit an attacker to execute arbitrary commands when they supply a crafted URL. The flaw arises from insufficient validation of machine values in network handling and is exploitable, for example, via malicious HTTP redirects on web pages. This is a high-severity command injection risk that can allow execution of arbitrary code on the user system. The vendor fixed the validation in February 21, 2026. Users should upgrade immediately or avoid the vulnerable options until they can patch. CVE 2026-26198 ORM SQL injection via aggregate functions. CVE 2026-26198 affects the ORM for Python, versions 0.9.9 through 0.22.0. When performing aggregates like min or max, user-provided column names were interpolated directly into SQL without proper validation or sanitization. This enables SQL injection, which could let an attacker read or exfiltrate database contents, a critical data exposure risk. The issue is resolved in 0.23.0. Developers should upgrade, treat all input as untrusted, and validate or whitelist column names used in queries. CVE 2025-13943 XLEX 3301 T0 Post Authentication Command Injection. CVE 2025-13943 Targets XLEX 3301 T0 Routers. An authenticated attacker could abuse the device's log download functionality to inject and execute OS commands, potentially leading to remote code execution and unauthorized configuration changes. Firmware up through 5.50, ABVY.7, C0 is affected. Administrators should apply the vendor firmware update promptly to close this post. Auth command injection path. CVE 2025-13942 XLEX 3510 B0 UPnP command injection. CVE 2025-13942 concerns UPnP on XLEX 3510 B0 devices. Carefully crafted SOAP requests can trigger OS command execution remotely, allowing complete control of vulnerable devices. The severity is critical. Firmware updates addressing the flaw are available for versions up through 5.17, ABUP.15.1, C0. Apply the patches without delay to prevent remote compromise. CVE 2026-25965 ImageMagick Path Traversal Bypass. CVE 2026-25965 affects ImageMagick prior to 7.1.2, 15 and June 9, 1340. Policy enforcement for file paths could be bypassed using path traversal, enabling local attackers to access files that policies should block. This can lead to disclosure of sensitive local files. Upgrading to the fixed releases restores correct path policy enforcement. Closing these CVEs underscore the need to keep software patched, validate inputs, and enforce configuration controls. Prompt updates and cautious configuration reduce exposure. Consult official advisories for full details and apply vendor fixes as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. Stay secure.